Hello, this is Tommy. Welcome back to chatomics. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you a very useful tool for clean up a data table or spreadsheet. So it's called Janitor. Okay, so go to Google and search Janitor, GitHub, and this is a trick. So if you use brackets and type R there, then it will search R programming language. You can also do the same thing for Python. So brackets, Python will show you the results that is related to Python. Okay. So the first link is that tool. Okay. So Janitor. So it's a very powerful tool to clean up a very messy spreadsheet or data table. Okay. Let me demonstrate that with a dirty spreadsheet. Okay. So go to RStudio. So first you have to install that package. I already did that. So, and let's load all the other packages we'll be using. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, in the data folder, I actually download the dirty data spreadsheet. Okay, so we can take a look actually at that spreadsheet. So if you just double click it, and this is the spreadsheet we're going to analyze, and you see there are actually many problems with this spreadsheet. So in my other video, which I will have the link in the show notes as well, I showed you how a tidy spreadsheet should be look like, okay? But for example, you have this first row here that is not necessary to read into R. Also, you have this like highlight thing. And also you have this empty line here. And more importantly, you look at the column names. So you have spaces within the column names. And also, for example, you have this percentage sign, you have this question mark, right? And you also have this like notation here. So maybe we don't even need that as well. Yeah. Okay, let's actually read into R. You use the read Excel function. Take a look, and you see there's some new names here. Then if you look at the first 6 rows, and you see, okay, this is the first row that we're reading. Actually, it's here, and it's filling the names for those empty cells. So let's clean up using Janitor. Okay, so here actually we can remove the first actual row. So for example, if you use this is the column name, right? So you can use the row 2 names and the row number equals 1. So use those as the column name. So if you use this, and you see now those are the correct column names, right? And for of course, then you still see those percentage sign, question mark, and you have the space in the column names. And if you actually read Excel will actually nicely keep the same name and the same name as in the spreadsheet, but which is not necessarily what you want, because usually I recommend you have either camel case as the column names, or you use underscore to separate the names. Okay, so what you can do, you can use the clean names function, and let's take a look. So essentially, it all becomes lowercase first of all, and then you use this underscore to connect the names, and without using the space, of course. And okay, let's actually save that into a new variable. But we can use the view function to look at. For example, it's very powerful. Remember, there's a percentage sign here, allocated here, and it recognized that and it renamed that as percent and underscore allocated. And that's pretty useful, right? And now those column names are all very easy to use. Okay, to be honest, this clean names function is one of the most frequent functions that I've used in my daily data analysis. Okay, so we use this like a row 2 names function equals to 1 to remove the first line, but what you can do also, you can, when you read in that data, you can use the skip function, skip arguments equals to 1, and you can actually just skip the first row, okay? Anyway, so now we can actually further clean it up, okay? So for example, we have empty rows, have empty columns. For example, if you look at here, for example, this row, they're all empty, right? And for example, this column, they're all NAs, so you can remove them. So you can use this remove empty both rows and columns, okay? So if they're all a constant, so a column with all years, for example, then you can also remove. Really, that depends on your need. So you can do or do not actually remove those. Okay, so furthermore, you can actually convert the higher date, for example, here. So if you look at here, the higher date, some of them, you know, it has the, like this month, maybe day and year, but some of them, like it's actually, oh yeah, I actually have no idea what's that actually. There's some big numbers there. But let's see if you use the Lubridate actually package, it will actually help you to nicely format them into months, day, and year. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Of course, and there's actually more actually. So for those two columns, they have actually the same name, certification, and actually it's, if you use clean names, actually it's renamed as certification and certification underscore 2, so then you don't have duplicate. And what else you notice, actually there's some NAs here, right, in some of the columns. And what you can do, you can use this coalescence function, like I think this is from SQL, so it actually will find the first non-missing value and fill that with that non-missing value. For example, if you use this certification and certification underscore 2, and if just mutate it, use that function, and if you take a look, so essentially in this one, if it's not missing, it will be copying the same thing, but if it's missing, it will actually fill in this to this new column. Okay, for example, this one is missing, and they will use this one to fill that missing value. Okay, and of course, if you switch that underscore 2 first and then certification, then it will actually create this new column, and it will be based on this. If there's no NA in this column, it will be the same, but if there's NA, it will be filled in with this non-missing value. Okay, so if you go down here again, those two are NA previously, and now actually get filled in those two values, okay, in the other column. Okay, so this is very useful, like if you have missing value in some column, but you want to borrow some information in a different column that does not contain any values. Okay, okay, the date. Okay, let's go back to the date. Let's see how it looks like. So the date. Okay, let's look again. And the date. Okay, now it's actually nicely formatted into this format. Okay. So possibly, if you go back to the raw data here, higher date. I don't understand how actually this one was converted to 2008. Maybe, yeah, but at least those two, they are converted into the same format: year, month, and date. Okay. Okay. Go back to here. So the next really powerful function in this Janitor package is called tabyl. So it's very similar to the table function, but you can use that within a pipe flow. For example, if you look at the table for the subject, if you can use the table function, and it will tell you, okay, the table, okay, the subject, and how many rows for each subject. So you have 2 English, the rest they're all 1. So if you look at the original data, so you have this is the subject is here. So you do have like 2 rows that's English. The other ones they're all like single, okay? And use this tabyl function. You can like use the pipe instead of use this. So you can directly pipe it to tabyl function and the subject. So it will tell you the number, and also it will calculate even the percentage, okay? And including the NAs. You can also use 2 variables, okay? Table, the employee status and the full-time. So if you run that, then actually it's a very nice table, okay? Both the employee status, yes or no, and then whether it's a full-time, yes or no, and the employee's status, whether it's administration, coach, or teacher. So you can even actually make a table for 3 variables, so it will return a list of tables, okay? So if you do full-time, subject, employee status, if you do that, so essentially it will actually split them into 3 lists based on the employee status, administration, coach, teacher, and then go further table them based on whether they are full-time and also the subject, okay? So full-time, yes or no, and also the subject. So if you change that, for example, if you put the full-time in the last, let's see how it looks like, then keep this the same order. So if you do that, so now it will actually split them into a list of 2 based on whether they are full-time or not, right? So it's yes or no full-time, but within each table, and that's actually table the subject and the employee status, okay? This is subject, different subject, and then the employee status, whether it's a coach or teacher, right? Coach, and then this administration or teacher. So this is actually very, very helpful for you to explore the data. So one of the really actually under probably valued skill is exploratory data analysis. You want to do all those table thing to get familiar with data and to get a sense of how the data look like, right? But even before that, you have to clean up the data, read in the data into R, and use clean names to clean those column names, and also remove the NAs, and you may also reformat the data. So I think if you spend enough time, then you'll be feeling really comfortable dealing with data within R, okay? And you can essentially handle any data types, okay? Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy it, and make sure you subscribe to the Chatomics YouTube channel. I will see you next time.